On the 22nd of December 2015, history would be made. Minutes earlier, the sound of roaring rocket engines let the ground of Cape Canaveral Air Force Station shake violently, but now the silence of the dark winter night has returned. Outside of the Launch Control Center, a small group is staring into the sky. Among them is the billionaire and entrepreneur Elon Musk. Suddenly, a bright flash of light appears in the sky. The silence is shattered by sonic booms. The rocket booster that launched just minutes ago slowly descends towards a concrete pad with a giant X in the middle. Almost gently, it touches down and turns off the engines to let the silence return once again. LZ-1, the Falcon has landed, is being shouted into a microphone, but the long-awaited call-out is barely audible in the cheering of the crowd celebrating on the other side of the continent. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Rocket Tap. My name is Philip and today I present you the second episode of Spaceflight Stories. In episode 1 about Astra, I promised you the next one would be about SpaceX. And now, almost 2 months later, here we are. I really assume that you know what SpaceX is. But do you also know how and especially why they are growing so fast and they are enjoying so much success? These are SpaceX's stories and their secrets to success. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation was founded on the 6th May of 2002 by Elon Musk, who had sold his previous company PayPal to eBay and reinvested massively in space exploration. He put serious effort in launching a small greenhouse to Mars with refurbished Russian ICBMs, but realized it would be cheaper to build his own rockets, leading to him founding SpaceX. Beginning work in the former warehouse in the Californian El Segundo, they managed to get Tom Miller, one of the world's leading rocket propulsion engineers, as their CTO of propulsion. In the following 4 years, they developed the Falcon 1, a single-engine, two-stage rocket for small-sat launches. And yes, it is indeed named after the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Between 2006 and 2008, SpaceX launched 3 Falcon 1 vehicles, with all of these launches resulting in failures. But on the 28th September of 2008, the Falcon 1 finally managed to reach orbit, saving the nearly bankrupt company. After acquiring the commercial resupply services contract with NASA and launching a customer satellite in 2009, SpaceX cancelled the Falcon 1 program and its planned successors in favor of the Falcon 9, a medium-heavy class launch vehicle capable of launching the Dragon spacecraft to the ISS, and moved into a larger facility in the nearby Hawthorne for development of the large rocket. The first iteration of the Falcon 9, also known as version 1.0, conducted its maiden flight on the 4th of June 2010, launching a boilerplate version of the Dragon 1. In the following years, a total of 20 CRS missions and 2 demonstration missions were launched for NASA, 20 of them successfully docked with the International Space Station. In the period of the CRS Phase 1 contract, SpaceX lost their first and until today only mission during an in-flight anomaly. First steps toward rocket reusability were conducted in 2012, with the first booster landing back on the ground in 2015 and the first reused rocket launching in 2017. As of today, SpaceX has launched a single booster up to 10 times and flew more than 129 Falcon 9 missions, making SpaceX the most launching company in the Western world. Additionally to rockets, SpaceX started their satellite internet program called Starlink, set to provide low-latency, high-speed internet anywhere on the planet, launching more than 12,000 satellites in the progress. SpaceX launched the largest operational rocket, the Falcon Heavy, in February 2018, bringing Elon Musk's personal Tesla Roadster into a solar-centered orbit. In 2020, SpaceX launched a crewed mission for the very first time with the Demo 2 in March and started regular flights to the ISS with Crew 1 in November. This year, SpaceX even started to fly private customers with the Inspiration 4 mission. And since about 2016, SpaceX is also putting serious effort in developing a next-generation, fully reusable launch vehicle, specially designed for crewed mass missions, called Starship. This rocket is so advanced that I dedicated multiple hours of video material on this vehicle already. As of 2021, Starship is SpaceX's highest priority and only active development program, and is set to replace the Falcon rockets in the mid to late 2020s. SpaceX has brought a variety of vehicles into existence. The Little Falcon 1 is already out of service, but the remaining vehicles are still operational or in testing phase. The current workhorse of SpaceX is the Falcon 9, a two-stage RP-1 powered vehicle with a maximum payload capacity of 22.8 tons. At a height of 70 meters and a diameter of 3.66 meters, the Falcon 9 is a very skinny vehicle, but that's on purpose, since the small diameter allows transportation per truck over the United States road network. The thrust is being delivered by 9 Merlin 1D Plus engines. The Falcon 9 features the world's first reusable rocket stage and reusable fairing halves. On a typical mission, only the second stage is expanded, while the booster returns to Earth and lands propulsively, and the fairings are fished out of the water after landing into the ocean. As of the making of this video, the Falcon 9 has conducted a total of 129 successful launches and experienced only one in-flight failure, giving it a reliability rate of more than 99%. Their second launch vehicle in operation is the Falcon Heavy, a descendant from the Falcon 9. With a maximum payload weight of 63 tons, Falcon Heavy is, until Starship goes online, the world's most capable rocket by a factor of 2. Falcon Heavy is basically a Falcon 9 with 2 more boosters, but just in theory, since there's actually a lot different. Due to sharing the same technologies, Falcon Heavy is capable of landing both side boosters as well as the first stage and recover the fairings as well. From its maiden flight in 2018 to 2021, Falcon Heavy is only launched 3 times, bringing a rideshare payload, a communication satellite, and a Tesla into space. SpaceX is currently developing another launch vehicle called Starship, which is specially designed for interplanetary missions. Starship, which functions as a spacecraft and a second stage at the same time, will be brought into space by the Super Heavy, a 70-meter tall rocket booster. With a total height of about 120 meters, a diameter of 9 meters, and a payload capacity of more than 100 tons, the Starship Super Heavy system will be the largest rocket that has ever existed. SpaceX works hard on making Starship fully and rapidly reusable to enable it going to the Moon and Mars, and maybe even replace the Falcon rockets and even function as a replacement for airliners in the future. And of course, SpaceX has their own spacecraft, called the Dragon. Dragon comes along in 2 variants, the crew variant and the cargo variant. The cargo variant is able to deliver resupply material to the International Space Station, and a crewed variant brings astronauts to the station or does civil spaceflight missions like the Inspiration 4 mission earlier this year. The Dragon capsule features Super Draco board motors and ablative heat shields and has room for a maximum of 4 astronauts. But apart from vehicles, SpaceX is also building satellites. Starlink is a low Earth orbit mega constellation built to provide internet to the entire globe. To achieve this, SpaceX needs a minimum of 12,000 satellites in orbit, and they even plan to stock up to 42,000 satellites in the future. Until today, only about 1,700 satellites have been launched, and some are already out of service. Starlink is currently still in a public beta phase, but is set to be openly available in many countries by 2022. SpaceX owns facilities all over the United States, which is something you should expect from a company with more than 9,500 employees. Their headquarters are located in Hawthorne, California, in a building that was originally built by Northrop Grumman to manufacture aircraft fuselages. This building functions as the headquarters, mission control center, and factory for the Falcon series rockets. SpaceX's launch pads include the legendary LC-39A at Kennedy Space Center, SLC-41 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, and SLC-4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Additionally, SpaceX operates two landing pad facilities at Vandenberg and Cape Canaveral. In McGregor, Texas, there is a large engine test facility where SpaceX conducts test firings of Merlin and Raptor engines, as well as static fires of entire Falcon boosters. It also seems like SpaceX has already begun laying the groundwork of a new factory at McGregor that is set to mass produce Raptor engines. Starlink satellites are supposedly being built in a factory located in Redmond, Washington, and the satellite communications are organized from Irvine, California. And the very last facility SpaceX owns is Starbase, the Starship development and testing area in Boca Chica, Texas. Here SpaceX regularly conducts test flights of Starship prototypes and soon even orbital launches. The entire facility is growing constantly and is likely going to become a frequently used spaceport in the future. But now to the really interesting stuff. I promised you that I would tell you about what exactly makes SpaceX so successful. As often, it isn't just quality and reliability that makes SpaceX a superior player in competition. In fact, the rockets of the competing United Launch Alliance and the European Arianespace enjoy about the same reliability records, and their rockets are able to do the same thing. So why aren't they the number one players in the launch market? The answer is simple: price and availability. To launch with ULA, you almost always have to pay more than $100 million, and it takes more than a year to build a rocket. SpaceX, on the other hand, not only offers you a rocket for less than half the money, but they can launch a payload way faster as well. So, how do they do that? Other than most of today's and especially past launch providers, SpaceX is a private company and is able to do what they want. That may be one of the reasons why SpaceX's philosophy is so drastically different from nearly everyone else. The entirety of those differences can be described with only 3 quotes from SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk. Number 1. Failure is an option here. If you are not failing, you are not innovating enough. You may have heard that one before. At SpaceX, people have a kind of a learning by doing mentality. Failure is openly accepted and in some cases even wanted to get real data of the product and not over-engineer the vehicle. There is no fixed design on their rockets. Once completed, SpaceX always tries to improve their vehicles, push them further and further. And if something fails, they find the error and fix it, making the vehicle even safer. This fly, fix, fail, and repeat mentality enabled not only fast development, but also higher performance. Quote number 2. If a design is taking too long, the design is wrong. SpaceX's way to success happened pretty fast. From being founded to becoming the world's largest launch provider, not even 2 decades were needed. That is at least partially due to the incredibly fast design process that focuses on developing the technology that is available faster and easier to achieve instead of over-engineering an impossibly complex vehicle. This helps SpaceX massively in the development of new vehicles with radical designs like Starship. And quote number 3 is, the best part is no part. The best process is no process. It weighs nothing, costs nothing, can't go wrong. Simplifying the design of the product does not only cut production costs. Having as little parts as possible makes up for less possible sources of failure, less time spent in production, and enables faster and easier changes to the design. Simplicity is the main goal when developing a new vehicle. Take the Super Heavy as an example. SpaceX ditched the landing legs since they don't need them, the mechanism that folds in the grid fins since leaving them unfolded has no disadvantage, and so on. On this very vehicle, leaving out those parts actually boosts its performance. Those 3 principles heavily influence the company's way of engineering. Make design as simple as possible in as little time and don't be afraid of failure. Other than most companies, SpaceX was founded with a special goal in mind, a mission to accomplish. Actually, it is one mission divided in two separate steps, one building up on the other. Step 1: Reusability. SpaceX is aiming to have a fleet of reusable spacecraft in the future and has achieved this goal at least partially with the Falcon 9. Reusing spacecraft brings many advantages with it. The environment isn't tortured as much, the cost of launching a rocket is lower, and SpaceX can launch customer payloads faster. Especially rapid reusability also increases the capacity of cargo that can be brought into space by quite a lot while keeping the cost low. But the goal of reusability only acts as a first step, enabling the real goal. Step 2: Making life multiplanetary. Once SpaceX has completed the development of fully and rapidly reusable spaceships, the second part of their self-declared mission begins. Bringing people to Mars and construct a self-sustaining colony there that is set to house millions of people is the vision the company was founded on. In their eyes, a colony on Mars isn't just a symbolic thing to look forward to, but it could play out important in case a mass extinction event happens on Earth, which is not that unlikely. But let's be honest there. The vision of a city on another planet mainly exists for inspirational purposes. And that is what it's all about. Inspiring people to dream of a future with humans flying through space and living among the stars. And it all just begins right now, in a small piece of land with the lovely name of Starbase, Texas. After almost 20 years of launch operations, SpaceX is dominating the industry, and there is the chance that this domination hasn't even reached its peak yet. A revolutionary spacecraft like the Starship system could become our most valuable technology in the very near future and influence the way we see the universe forever. SpaceX's quite different approach to vehicle design and set the company up for success. Rapid innovation, cheap launch costs, and a fairly high quality are just a few of the advantages that this philosophy offers, and it even improves customer satisfaction by a lot. The private spaceflight industry is booming, and many startups and companies are emerging and entering the launch market. But SpaceX is so far ahead that it seems like no one could really be able to catch up to them. SpaceX is the elephant in the room, the giant among the dwarfs, the company that may bring us to Mars and beyond, so we can indeed wake up in the morning and dream of a future among the stars. And that's it for the story of SpaceX. Let me know in the comments what you think about their vision of the future, and if you enjoyed the video, which I really hope you did, why don't you hit the like button and subscribe to the Rocket Shop. If you do so, thank you for that. We see ourselves in the next video, and until then, I'm out. Cheers!